Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds. Good evening. And it is a day where we could actually win the Premier League. It doesn't feel like that day, but it is actually a day we could actually win the Premier League tonight. If Arsenal lose to Crystal Palace, Liverpool will be officially crowned Premier League champions of 2025. However, I'm an Arsenal fan tonight. I'm an Arsenal fan tonight. I am cheering on Arsenal tonight. I want them to win. I want it to go down to Sunday. I want to win Sunday and be that and make sure we win properly for that, and just give Anfield that sort of jubilation at that time, and knowing that we got over the line in front of that crowd would be a beautiful ending, a perfect ending to the season. Even a draw tonight would be all right. A draw tonight would be all right as well, because a draw tonight would also mean we'd also need a draw on Sunday. So I'm happy as long as Arsenal get a result tonight. I'm happy, so as long as it leaves Liverpool a chance then to get the result on Sunday to ensure we are champions. But big news coming out today, boys. Trent Alexander-Arnold, mixed reports today. We've got Ian Doyle coming out and reporting that Liverpool are not giving hope on signing him. Romano, being a dickhead that Romano is, come out and said he's off anyway. So, yeah. I mean, look at this. You can tell Liverpool are on the verge of winning the Premier League because we've got a full house in the stream tonight. Everyone is joining in. And I hope everyone is also joining in the chat as well. We've got a little bit of news on Dean Huijsen and he's potentially going to Real Madrid. Chelsea are also interested. Arsenal as well. Much more news on who Bournemouth want from Liverpool as well. 3 players included into that. And it is pretty much, guys, a week of... So I want to celebrate. I know people say it's too early, but I'm celebrating now already, the championship. Reese... Are you an Arsenal fan tonight?
What's it called? I got a bet on William Hill, so yeah, I'm an Arsenal fan tonight. I would like Palace to win. I just don't see it. I know obviously Arsenal are focusing on the Champions League, but I think the last few games Palace have come into a bit of bad form. Of course, they can still get a result, but if it was maybe you take away their last couple of performances, I would have been a bit more confident. But I do think they have a chance, because you got to think Arteta is probably more focusing on the Champions League, even though he has said in press conferences that it's not over till it's over. You know, that's as a manager trying to being close to challenge for the league. I kind of understand why he's saying that, but realistically, we know it's over and it's been over for a while, so it's just a matter of time. But yeah, I think Arsenal win or draw today. If Palace win, then great, and we can start celebrating. You know,
the Liverpool squad is actually getting together tonight, and it's going to be like the COVID watch, what they did again with Chelsea Man City, wasn't it, when Chelsea beat them and we secured the title that way. Even though the squad are getting together tonight for a celebration, whatever they're doing, and it would be nice to celebrate tonight if just all them being together. Patricio, surely the players would want to do it in front of the fans on Sunday. More so.
Yeah, I think I agree with Reece. Like what you said as well. I think a draw would be beneficial. That way, obviously, they secure a point, but that way we still have the opportunity to win on Sunday. And then when we go to Stamford Bridge, then they have to hold a guard of honour for us. So it just shows, like, I don't know. I think that'd be really nice. And obviously, don't get me wrong, I would love to win the league tonight, but I just feel like it'll be much better in front of the fans. Obviously, Van Dijk's spoken about it, about how last time when we won the league, on COVID times, we couldn't celebrate, but there was no fans in the stadium. So I think it'll mean more if it's in front of the fans.
Naz, can I ask you a question?
Go on then.
Which guard of honour are you looking forward to most? Lavia and Caicedo holding hand in hand, or just the whole Arsenal squad?
Arsenal squad, I'd probably say. The grief you see online, it's just it's relentless. You put that much effort into supporting the club, they'd be unreal. But the effort they put into us is crazy. So yeah, I'd love it more for Arsenal.
I need to get a guard of honour from certain online fans as well.
Yeah, I know.
I think that should be. I think we need a humbling from some of them. I think a lot of them just need to stand up and say, "Look, applaud us for what has happened." So let's get into the news then. Trent Alexander-Arnold, Ian Doyle came out this morning. Is he still working for the Echo? I think he is, isn't he? He's still working for the Echo. Ian Doyle come out this morning and said Liverpool still trying hard to get Trent Alexander-Arnold to stay at Liverpool. Then Romano, as I said earlier, I said, look, it's pretty much still going to Real Madrid. It's pretty much near enough done. However, I don't know if you guys have seen the picture of Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. As Mohamed Salah always has a picture every single week with a goal scorer, he did this week on Sunday. However, a couple of days later, it has been revealed that it has come out today. Mohamed Salah has revealed the picture today. And is this conspiracy? Is this me overthinking things? Is this me trying to make something of something that's not there? But both Trent and Mo Salah are in front of the exit sign on the picture, and they have their backs turned to the exit sign. Is it a sign, Naj?
I don't know. I think it's to be honest. I think it's. I actually don't know. Do you know? I made a video on it the other day, and I still don't even know why I made the video. I can't even put my finger on what it is, but I think it's a bit of a tongue in cheek, isn't it? What Salah did, unless his phone died. You know, like we're just doing it a couple of days later. I don't know.
What about the exit sign? Doing it in front of the exit sign with the back turned to it.
I think everything you can. It's like when a picture paints 1,000 words, isn't it? So I think you can make anything. I think you can make anything out of different. And I was doing that the weekend, you know, hanging his shirt up. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean he's going? Is he leaving? Does that mean he's staying? His celebration? It's just, I don't know. It's all up in the air, isn't it? But if I'm going to be totally honest, my head's saying he's still going Real Madrid, but my heart's saying, oh, he's going to stay with us now. He's going to stay. But my head's going to take over. I think it'll be Real Madrid at the end of the day.
I can already read into Reese's mind, you know. I can see him in deep thought right now, right? And Reese is always the most optimistic of all of us, I think, at Talking Reds. Reese, is Trent staying?
I can't give you a straight answer. I could give you like a percentage if that will help.
Go on. I like to hear the percentage.
I'm still saying 75% to Madrid, but I'll say 25% that there's a small chance he stays. There's a small chance he stays. Like more and more when I see certain things, it's getting my hopes up more. So when I saw that picture of Salah today, it's getting my hopes up. But I'm not trying to.
Did you dive down to the rabbit hole?
Like I said, I'm trying to keep myself like together because.
Reese in Wonderland over here, diving down to the rabbit hole. He knows he did.
I don't want to say too much, and then I look stupid. So at the minute, I still think it's highly likely he goes to Real Madrid. But the only thing I would say is that why has it not come out that all the other stuff has come out? Why isn't it? Should really, and from who is it, Marker? Why has it not come out for me that it's signed, sealed, and delivered? Because for me, they don't care. Which tells me, like I said, I could be wrong, but what tells me is there's
still a chance.
The Real Madrid contract's there, and the final Liverpool contract's there, and he hasn't. That's what I'm kind of looking at. It's more or less done Real Madrid, but he hasn't actually signed, and the Liverpool one's there. They've said that's the last contract offer, and he hasn't said yes or no. So I'm still, like I said, it's likely that's Real Madrid, but the way he celebrated as well, that celebration was kind of over the top. That didn't look like a celebration of. Is it? You could look at it both ways, but because he put the shirt on the flag, but that was a celebration, like a.
It was like a relief sort of thing. Like, yeah, it's like a prove you wrong sort of celebration, wasn't it? I thought.
Wolf of Wall Street moment that I thought.
Yeah. That's what we're hoping. That's what we're hoping.
What will be interesting is if he hasn't made up his mind by the parade. I think once he experienced the parade, because you got to remember we didn't get to experience it the first time we won it, so you're kind of celebrating it twice. And for me, in a way, that's why it's going to be so big and so monumental. I think once he experiences that parade, if he hasn't made up his mind by then, I think he stays. Because I think once he experiences that, I think how are you gonna say no to that kind of thing? So it's still likely Real Madrid, but more and more each day, I'm thinking potentially he might stay. So
LP nights. So one thing I got to say, LP nights is kids can access YouTube, so the less swearing, the better. I think just on this stream. I'm not going to stop swearing on here, but please keep the swearing to a minimum in the chat with your words. Patricio,
is he a United fan? LP nights.
Yeah, it's either a United fan or an Angry Ginger fan. One of two, anyway. Patricio, Trent, Salah, Van Dijk. We all said that Salah and Van Dijk were going to stay. I think we all sort of agreed that Trent's gone. Is that still the case? Trent's gone.
Yeah, I think so. I think what's annoyed me is we've seen conflicting things. Obviously, there's the pictures that obviously suggest that he might still love the club, but then there's the words he says and the denial of contracts on 3 occasions. The fact that both Salah and Van Dijk pre-contract signature, they were both hinting at wanting something to happen. You could see their frustration in talks not continuing at the time, and they wanted the contracts done. I think what's annoyed me about Trent, I've got to the point where if he wants to leave, fair enough. In my eyes, his legacy is a bit tarnished anyway. He's done what he's done. I think for me, it's the fact that as a vice captain, he hasn't come out and said anything early on just to put our minds at ease whether he is going or isn't going. And that is what's annoyed me about it. I think had he have said, look, my intentions, I've done what I've done in the Prem, I've got what I wanted to get, I've achieved, and I want to do it, I have this challenge. I would have respected that more had he have done that rather than how he's been going about things. It seems that he's just trying a business approach where he's trying to see, can my agent get me more money with either Liverpool or with Real Madrid? And I think that's quite bad. I think to be fair, we talk about Trent like that, but I think we respect Gerrard so highly, but then there was also the time that he was going to go to Chelsea. So
let me ask you a question then. Let me ask you a question. If Gerrard, and I've been thinking about this, if Gerrard had won what Trent had won with Champions League, Premier League, all the other trophies as well. Well, he had won all the other trophies, but just the Premier League. If he won the Premier League as well, so it's like a job done sort of thing. Do you think he might have not done a U-turn?
I don't know, to be honest. I think for Gerrard, it was very family orientated. Obviously, he was in 2 minds and obviously picked the right club, thankfully, and just didn't achieve the Premier League. But I think for Trent, I don't know. But I thought the club would mean more to him, especially to 5 years ago. You could see in interviews he wanted to be the future captain, and that's what, in my eyes, I saw him as the future captain. But I also get it from the flip side, is where maybe he does want to be in a different country. He wants to be in a sunnier country, and he hopes of playing for Madrid. And I've put comments on it recently where I think for us he would have been legendary or had a legacy with us. For Madrid, he'll just be another player, another number in the squad, another bench warmer.
That's what Klopp said to Coutinho, innit? And then Coutinho also ended up leaving, and his career went downhill from there. I'm not saying that Trent's career will go down. I think he'll smash it. To be honest, I think it is an unbelievable player. And I think we've been lucky to have him wear Liverpool shirt, have him coming through the academy. It is one of those things where, it hurts because he's a scouser. He is a Liverpool fan. It makes no sense to us Liverpool fans. Playing for Liverpool is just you can't get any better than that. But if Trent's got other ambitions, you can't really think like that. If some people think differently, if he thinks that he's done all he can at Liverpool, then if he goes, then I think he's going to do well. I do think he's going to do well, and it is a hard place to go because if he does go to Real Madrid and plays a few bad games, the Madrid fans won't let him off lightly. You've seen they booed Mbappe the other week just for getting sent off. But yeah, it will be hard for him. But I think personally he'll smash it. I do. I think Real Madrid are too good, and if that La Liga, the space and time he might get, he needs space and time. If he gets space and time in La Liga, with the likes of Vinicius and Mbappe running behind, it's just going to be a long day for those long balls over the top. But yeah, from one player potentially going out, from one player potentially coming in, Dean Huijsen at Bournemouth. This is getting frustrating already. This news obviously is a target for Liverpool, and I've just read now. I knew this was going to happen. Konate, it's all on the Konate situation with Dean Huijsen now. That is what is coming out right now. I'm trying to find who said it now. Someone just said it a minute ago. I literally just read it. But anyway, a lot of more things have been coming out today on Dean Huijsen. Louis Steele came out earlier saying Chelsea are the favourites to get Dean Huijsen. Then you got Alex Crook saying Chelsea stepped up their interest. Arsenal's still interested as well. And then we've got another Alex Crook saying prefers Liverpool or Arsenal over Chelsea. It's all been coming out about Dean Huijsen. I don't know where it's coming from. Matt Law saying Chelsea are favourites to sign Dean Huijsen because of the relationship between Chelsea and Huijsen's agents. So it says here, Ali Barat is Behead, Iqbal is go-to man. He's also involved in a deal to take Huijsen to Bournemouth last summer alongside Don Huijsen. They are now working together on Huijsen's future. Barat is clearly pushing for Chelsea and has given them an upper hand in the race. Barat also helped Chelsea for Caicedo. It's all that again. It's the money side of things again, isn't it? It's going for money again. The agent side of things also represents the like of Nicholas Jackson and Fofana, and represent Ian Maatson too. So he's already got Chelsea links there, the same agent as Caicedo. It says something about Real Madrid as well. I'll try to find it. I think it's something to do with Real Madrid. Dean Huijsen's actually prioritising Real Madrid, according to a report as well. So it's all come out today. It is also understood that while regular playing time can ensure his development, consideration for Dean Huijsen when it comes to settling his future, the prospect of Champions League participation will also be a factor. So Chelsea get Champions League is a big thing to get Dean Huijsen. If they don't get that, then it might sway him. But I also read a report. I can't find it now. There's been so many reports on Dean Huijsen today. It's been ridiculous. There's also, let's have a find it. Oh, there, Sammy Mockbell said, Dean Huijsen may depend on developments of Konate. I knew this was going to happen. It's sell to buy again. Instead of adding Dean Huijsen to the squad and improving the squad, it's get rid of Konate to get Dean Huijsen. We don't get rid of Konate, we don't get Dean Huijsen. That's a big issue. I knew this was going to happen. But I also saw one about is prioritising Real Madrid anyway. I also saw about Real Madrid going for Kirkes as well. They can fuck off. I swear. Can they fuck off? Reece.
For me, Kirkes is done. I'm not worried about Kirkes. That's done. He's come.
If Real Madrid come in, you know what they're like. You know what they're like. I think it is down.
Can't afford all these players. So don't worry about. I'm not worried about Real Madrid.
I can't stand them. I can't stand Real Madrid. And people were fucking cheering Real Madrid on against Arsenal. Fuck off. I'm not cheering them pricks on ever in my entire life. I'd rather Arsenal win the Champions League than Real Madrid. But yeah.
With Huijsen, it will be interesting. I just think it's a lot of talk right now. For me, if he goes to Chelsea, you know, it's not because he's looking at he's not necessarily looking at ambition. It's more money.
If they get Champions League though, mate, do you think there's a project to be had there though?
I think Chelsea's a mess. I think that's going to get worse before it gets better, because it just looks like they buy players and then they move them on, because it looks like they're being linked with another winger as well, and it's like they got enough wingers there. They got like 3 or 4 wingers. Why are you trying to buy another winger? So, and with all these 7-year contracts as well, like I said, it's very. Why is a football player, for me? Why are you going to sign a 7-year contract? Footballer's career is quite short, you know. So, why are you going to sign a 7-year contract? For me, even with that, it's a bit frustrating hearing that. What's it called? It's a bit frustrating that. What's it called? That they're saying that about Konate in terms of if he stays, we won't sign him. That's what it sounds like, and if he goes, but I'm not reading too much into that. I still think we got a good chance of getting him. Obviously, one of the things I read is that they met with his dad and they had quite a good conversation. So yeah, his dad might be sold. So I'm assuming his dad is his agent or someone that's close to him that's kind of advising him. But where does he want to go? Obviously, there was something that came out that said he prefers the Premier League. That's why I'm not worried about the Real Madrid. He said he would prefer to play in the Premier League. Obviously, with the Chelsea situation, I'd say he's probably got more of a chance of going straight into the first team lineup with Chelsea in terms of their setup compared to ours, obviously, where we've got Konate and Van Dijk kind of there. But for me, if he backs himself and he thinks he's a top player, come to Liverpool. You know what I mean? If Liverpool do everything they're supposed to do to try and get him, and he doesn't come, then for me, if he does go to Chelsea, it's more the money situation, the agents. That's why I kind of see.
And Van Dijk's going in 2 years anyway.
And hopefully, if Liverpool don't get Huijsen, they have a plan B, a plan C. You don't just put all your eggs into that. Now that ideally you've got a sporting director again, you've got Edwards there in his role, and you've got Ward there as well. Hopefully you lot have plan B, plan C, plan D. So yeah, I'm still confident we get him, but this is how it is in football, unfortunately. Now everyone starts going for the same players. Chelsea weren't even linked with him, and now all of a sudden they're just trying to get a player that Liverpool are interested again. Same old.
I think regarding this comment here from Anurag, I think Barcelona will be fine, if I'm honest. I don't know what you guys think on the panel as well. I think Barcelona are absolutely fine. They've dropped a little bit in performance, but There's not long left of the season left. I think Real Madrid are sort of putting pressure on Barcelona. They've got a little bit of a gap, but they're not playing very well at Real Madrid at the moment. They got a late winner the other night against Bilbao. I don't know if anyone's seen the goal. Valverde's goal was just unbelievable, by the way. They got a really, really late goal against Bilbao. I think Barcelona have pretty much got the league sewn up. Obviously, with the Champions League, they've probably got the best side of the draw as well. So I think they'll do all right, Barcelona. I think they're certainly probably the favourites to win the Champions League. But Arsenal PSG, sorry, that's the game for me. Anyone could beat Barcelona in that final as well. So, so where is Huijsen going? Patricio, Chelsea have done it before with us. Caicedo, Lavia. He's Huijsen number 3 in that.
Well, I guess it all depends because obviously I agree with Reece. If they do, it depends. Obviously, his dad might have a lot of sway in it, especially if he's his agent. But the thing I'm thinking of is, will he? It depends whether they want to go for sort of Champions League in the Premier League again, or like with Chelsea, with so many players on long contracts, they're just filling out their career for the sake of money, not the sake of playing for the sport you love and for the club that you want to play for. I think that'll take a big sort of, hopefully that'll play into his mind. And I'm hoping that's the same with Kirkes as well, is that these two have ambition and want to play for us. And it's also the case of whether we're willing to play the release clause. I believe he has like a 52 million release clause, something like that.
It was about that. Yeah, about 50 million. Yeah.
So it's whether we're quick in it and want to sign him as well, and then it's the case of then who he favours. But I'm hoping that he screws his head on right and thinks, well, where have Lavia and Caicedo gone to? How have they done really well, or see how we succeeded? And the fact that Van Dijk is going in 2 years potentially, that he could then be the next predecessor. Is that the word? The person who takes over next.
Predecessor, yeah.
Yeah, so, and then the problem is, I don't want to be true where Kanai has to go to Huijsen to come in, because I think they'd be a good partnership. It just needs to be that the club are willing to spend the money on him and to use the money when we're selling potentially so many attackers, especially if Diaz goes, Nunes goes. We're not going to spend all that money on an attacker and midfielders. So we need to think smart of how we want to do this, especially because how much Kirkes might cost us if we want to go for. It depends who we want up top, how ambitious we're feeling up there for like Alvarez, Isaac, or whoever, however much money they're willing to put into it. But I've heard different reports. Obviously, we're either looking for a big summer, or Virgil and Salah are basically like 2 new signings, so that limits our options to 1 or 2 new signings. It depends. Realistically, it depends on how ambitious the club are feeling, and then
If I hear this summer Virgil and Salah are like 2 new signings, I'm gonna fucking flip my lid. I'm gonna flip my lid. I do not want to hear those words.
I know, sad.
Kirkes, obviously, Huijsen. I said it last. I said it last night I said it to Cam that I don't think we'll go for a double swoop for Kirkes and Huijsen. I think it'd be madness if we got a double swoop from a team like that. Bournemouth, that's on the up as well. Kirkes, though, I think this one is probably. Reece already said it earlier that this is probably the done deal. This is probably the one that's going to be done, the first deal to be done. Man City are looking at him as well, but nothing too bothered about that. Louis Steele also revealed that he's our top target. Is Kirkes going to be the first deal? As I put it down below.
We should be going for 2, by the way, but we won't.
Yeah.
Don't rule it out.
Oh.
Don't rule it out.
I told you, Reece is optimistic.
Yeah, because
Reece, you probably think we're going to get Semenyo as well. All 3 from them.
No, but you lot have PTSD, which I understand. I got a little bit of that, but like I said, you're in a situation right now where the managers just come in and won the league and they didn't back him before. They can't come with no mediocre rubbish. It's not like you backed him and then he won the league and you could say, oh yeah, but we backed you last time. We don't have to. You didn't back him, and he's come in and won the league. So you're gonna have to. You're already under pressure because you didn't back him, and then on top of that, he's won the league now. So,
will they not say they didn't get back last year and you won the league, so you can do it again?
Nah. For me,
Probably for sure.
for me, he's not got that underdog mentality.
Uncle Jonathan knows his shit.
No disrespect to Klopp, but he strikes me as he's not gonna have that. He strikes me as he'll say something. That's what would be interesting. Oh, he's just come in just now, but you got to remember he's won the league now. I think he's gonna be thinking, rare. You don't need to kind of be giving me what I want. You need to be. This is just the start, and he strikes me as he's not gonna. If he's here for years upon years, if they try and not back him, he don't strike me as he's just gonna protect them. He strikes me. If you listen to him,
I'd love to be a fan of all for Henry versus Slot negotiations in summer.
In his interviews, he's very direct.
Yeah, he is.
Klopp will be direct sometimes, but a lot of the time, Klopp will keep you guessing. He seems very direct when he speaks. When he says certain things, if he thinks a player's not good enough or how we played, if you listen to how he dissects how we play, he's very to the point. So he's already said as well in terms of what he's looking for in terms of pace and power. He don't look like he's someone he's gonna keep you guessing. That's just my opinion. But yeah,
he didn't like he's gonna take shit.
No, he don't look like that. As well, he don't.
No, yeah, he doesn't sound like either.
He don't talk about us as an underdog. He's like, this is Liverpool. This is what I'm talking about. This is how we should be thinking. It shouldn't be this underdog mentality. Liverpool underdogs. I never understood that stuff. Even when we hadn't won for ages, it's still Liverpool.
Yeah.
History. There should be none of this underdogs. Shouldn't be, when you're playing this one, you're underdogs. No. This is Liverpool. Should be expected to win every game. Should be expected to win trophies every year. That's how I see it. So
yeah. Also, we talk about Kirkes there, Naj, coming in, Huijsen potentially. So we want 2 Bournemouth players. I don't know if Semenyo's even. I've never seen Semenyo's name being thrown around anyway in leaving Bournemouth. I'm surprised at that. I'm surprised no one's going in for him. But Bournemouth want 3 of our players. Louis Steele said this morning, Kelleher, Harvey Elliott, and Ben Dirk, Bournemouth all want. Do you think they could be used in part deals to get these players?
I mean, I've heard the Kelleher links for like quite a few weeks. Obviously, I think Kepa's on loan, isn't he? I believe.
Yeah.
A full keeper. I mean, he's actually been okay for them this season, Kepa. Like, I can't really say he's been bad for them. I think he's actually been pretty good. But I believe like Kelleher could be obviously used in like potentially a swap deal. You see, my sort of theory on it would be like Kirkes pay for him, just buy him. Like that, the money's not going to be as expensive as House and Huijsen, whatever you want to call them. But anyway, if there's an opportunity to get, Dean Huijsen in, then use Kelleher as a swap, or use, I don't know, maybe Doak, or I'd keep hold of Elliott. Like, I think he's well ingrained in Liverpool way at the minute. So, I mean, but there's also the fact that he doesn't get any minutes, but I would still keep him around the club. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would do if I was Richard Hughes, but I don't know if that'd happen or not. I do think, though, out of any of all the positions that I've said this time and time again, I do think that left back is essential and a striker is essential. And then I don't think it's hard to. You always got to think with like your FSG hat on, haven't you? You always got to think like, realistically, Liverpool should be going signing 4 players in the summer: a left back, a centre mid, a striker, and a covering centre back. But we all know that isn't going to happen. In the fact that I know Reece said that they're going to get backed and stuff like that. Like, if Liverpool want a premium striker, and I don't want this Ekatike shit, I think we go and buy Perez, we go and buy Isak. I don't want us to get someone who's going to be good. I want us to go and get the already tried and tested product, rather than we'll get someone who's going to be like this. And I think that's going to cost a lot to go and get Alvarez or Isak. And yeah, it's just the wiggle room what's going to be around. Kirkes, I think is a done deal. I pretty much think, but House and centre mid. I mean, I'd be really going for probably another covering. It's a rotation with Gravenberg, but like, again, how much is that going to cost? That's going to be 50, 60, 70 mil. You're looking by the end of the window, it's going to be like well over 200 million. I don't know if we'll spend 200 million. Well, I could be wrong anyway. I'll take Reece's approach. I could be wrong, but I don't think we'll spend 200 mil.
We will be coming back to this at some point in the summer.
I got a little hunch though. Who's to say they don't? Because I saw something come out saying that Alvarez, he's he's been a bit disappointed with how his first season's gone at Atletico. I think he was hoping for more. Obviously, it's unlikely they sell him, but I'm sure they were interested in Nunes. Offer them a bit of money and give them Nunes. Do a little. You don't know.
It'll be 70.
He fits right in at Atletico. I think Nunes. I think he does quite well there.
Oh, shit out of it. Yeah.
They'll build the team around Nunes. Everything will go through Nunes. It's a bit slower there, so he'll have time to think. He needs time to think. So yeah.
Just think of the strikers Atletico Madrid have had: Forlan, Torres, Aguero, Costa,
Falcao,
Griezmann, Falcao. Even now with Alvarez, and they get Nunes. I mean, Suarez, yeah, Suarez went then, didn't it? After Barca, yeah. Wow. Atletico. Please to comfort Nunes because he is pretty much gone. We said it yesterday that 4.3 million we got to pay Benfica for starting another game. He's not starting another game. I didn't think he was going to start another game anyway, regardless of that 4.3 million because he's shit. So, other than that, I just think it's that pretty much done. Regarding Kelleher, Elliott, and who else going? Ben Dirk, wasn't it, Patricio? It's a bit weird when Ben Dirks. He's done all right at Middlesbrough. And we haven't really got a Salah backup, and we're not going to buy a Salah backup. Would you keep Ben Dirk around?
Yeah, I'd want to. I'd want to see him develop. But what you see from like all the pundits and everything when they're watching the match is that all they say is that he's just not strong enough. Although he's got the technical ability and he's pacey, for the Premier League, he just gets pushed off the ball too easy. And I really wanted Doak to succeed. I wouldn't know who would be a Salah replacement, to be honest, or who would be the understudy for him. I mean, ideally, I'd like it to be Doak. I mean, for now, I'd even want Chiesa to play more games, and it's just a shame that he isn't. So when we're talking about right wings that we could go for, that would be Salah replacement, like someone like a Rodrigo, or maybe like a Kudus or something like that. I know Semenyo's shout is in there as well, but I don't think we're going to ever get someone of a similar quality, well, at all. But
No.
I think it's going to be really difficult to fill those shoes, and I think Slot sort of shot himself in the foot now because the fact that he hasn't been playing Chiesa often, even though he's back off injury, he's wearing Salah down, although he is obviously performing every game, still doing bits. So I think, like what Nash brought up, we definitely need to have players to rotate. We need to do that next season because if he keeps playing the same team every week, it's going to destroy the players. We're going to start the next season with the second half of how we've been doing this season from Feb onwards, and it's just not going to go well for us. We need to have start off with a bang and be able to be ambitious and sign those players. So I would like to keep Doak, and then so I've kind of gone off a tangent, but then I wouldn't want Kelleher to go either, but I think it's going to be difficult because obviously we've got Mamardashvili coming in, still got Alisson as an amazing number one. So I don't know how he's going to fit in when we've got potentially three players wanting to compete for a number one spot, and they all deserve it, to be fair. So it will be difficult. And then in terms of who's the other player you said?
Harvey Elliott, yeah.
I really like Elliot. I really want to succeed because whenever he comes on as a sub, he does well for us. And I think it's the same with Curtis Jones. They just need more minutes, and they're struggling because they're trying to get into the place of Salah, McAllister, Szoboszlai, and obviously Slot has his favourites, so I think it will be difficult. But I think they just need to rotate more, especially now coming towards the last 5 games this season. When we secure the league, it's then hopefully he rotates and actually sees how they play.
It's a shame with Elliott. I think Ben Duck's probably another Elliott. Does well in the Championship, got plenty of potential, but again, he's not physical enough for the Premier League. And I just think Elliott, right? It suits certain teams. It suits Liverpool. I'd love to keep him around as a backup just because he's one of our most creative players. We're losing Trent in that creativity already. Salah's is going to get older at some point. He's getting older, but I'm saying that creativity might drop at some point. McAllister's creative one, but other than that, we haven't really got anyone creative unless we go out and buy a creative player. But we're already then looking at not signing a midfielder the other week with the reports coming out. We're looking at left back, centre back, certainly striker. are we going to do enough to get a DM and a cam as well, and someone that can create more chances? Because Szoboszlai don't create enough. Mike says, "Hey, what's the source on this, lads?" Which news are you talking about, Mike? We've covered quite a little bit, but yeah, tell me what news you're talking about, and I can tell you what source it is.
I think he means the title.
And it's definitely not an HP source.
Hmm.
Go on, mate. Patricia, what do you think he says?
I think he means the title, like Trent not leaving. I think that's what he
Oh,
means.
Trent not leaving. Yeah, so basically, it's been mixed reports today, Mike. If you have just joined us, Mike, anyone else that's just joined as well, mixed reports on Trent Alexander-Arnold and potentially either staying at Liverpool or going to Real Madrid. So Ian Doyle came out this morning. Liverpool Echo said that Liverpool are still really pushing hard to keep Trent Alexander-Arnold. We saw the picture of him and Salah jumping down the rabbit hole with Reece in his Alice in Wonderland scenario, and we see the exit sign in the picture of him and Salah. Turn the back to the exit sign. Make of what that you will. But also Romano came out and said the other mixed report saying it's pretty much still done Real Madrid. So believe what you want to believe. I think it's one of them things with Trent Alexander-Arnold. I think it's the same with the other contracts. Just let's just enjoy what the season is now. We've signed Salah, we've signed Van Dijk. That's done. We can relax on that. Let's see if Trent signs. If he doesn't, good luck with Real Madrid. Oh, fuck Real Madrid. But if he does, then absolutely fantastic news. But yeah, we are literally could be a few hours off. I'd say 3 hours off being officially crowned Premier League champions. If Palace get a result, if Palace win tonight, we will become Premier League champions tonight. But I think I speak for everyone here in this chat. I'm sure everyone else watching as well, that we want to win it on Sunday in front of those fans and give Anfield and the Liverpool fans everything they deserve. After COVID, after a 30-year wait before COVID, this is the time now to be a happy Liverpool fan, enjoy the celebrations, because I'll certainly be celebrating for a month worth of celebrations at least. Liverpool winning the title, that's certain. So Lewis Steele also came out. He had a good morning, Lewis Steele, this morning. I'm hoping I can get Lewis. Actually, I had to message him the other day, and I'm hoping I can get him back on here for some more exclusives. He did message me the other day saying he's been busy, so it's hard to get someone like that on sometimes with how busy they are. But yeah, he also said that we potentially could be signing 4 to 5 signings. Reece, that's right up your street with that one.
I did say this. Let's just wait and see. I told you it's going to be a good summer. Don't worry.
I don't. How do you deal with the PTSD that we've had before at this club?
Huh?
You must do therapy or something. You must do something to get rid of this PTSD.
I explained it to you, man. If Klopp came in and won the title in his first season, that you do something crazy like that. And obviously Klopp did phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, they didn't back him, and then the guys come and got you the league title. And then, like I said, Salah and Virgil are staying. And for me, I don't believe they've signed without them some reassurances that what direction is the club going in? What are you trying to do? And Virgil's hinted at it a bit. So I'm confident that we're going to get a few players. I'm confident.
I hope you're absolutely right. Yeah, Trent news is from Ian Doyle, Mike, and also Romano. So it is mixed reports. If you go back to the start of the stream, you'll see it is mixed reports. So I think we all believe still in this stream that he's gone to Real Madrid. I think unless you really do look down the rabbit hole and go into the conspiracy theories of the exit on the picture, if you look online at the picture between him and Salah, it could be a subconscious message to everyone. I'm trying to really pinch at straws there with that though. Really pinch at straws, if I'm honest. This weekend we do have Tottenham as well. Boys, scenario, Tottenham. We need a win to win the league. I say Arsenal win tonight. We need a win to win the league on Sunday. Naj, who do you want to get the winner?
Joe Gomez off the bench.
He just read my mind.
Is he back now?
He's back in training, yeah.
I thought he was going back in training. Yeah, I haven't seen him on bench yet. Yeah.
Looks like
Gomez off the bench.
Seen him. Looks like Black Panther now. He's like huge. He's all tanked up.
All right, what's better than Naj? What's better than Joe Gomez getting his first ever goal in football history? Because he's never been scored in football history. Or Trent Alexander-Arnold getting the goal and pulling shit off saying I'm staying.
Joe Gomez has been there longer.
Ah, come on. Come on. Even including the celebration saying I'm staying.
Oh, if he did that, nah, I'm not joking. Yeah, it'd be good, yeah. You know, we got on the mic and that's nice. I'm staying, you know, that'd be. I don't know. To see the winner though, like I think it'd be good to just see pretty much anyone. I think, you know, to see Salah score it would be great. Like to score the winner. Like obviously their season. I often think back to like where on earth would we be if we hadn't been performing this season, because you know it's been like the Chuckle brothers up front with him, you know, all season, and he's literally just the goals and output from him compared to the others up there has just been crazy. I take Gakpo out of that actually because I think it's a bit unfair on him. Been injured quite a lot, but when he has performed, he has performed. Diaz, purple patch player, Nunes, Jota, you know, I'm hinting out they've been, you know. But I think to see them score, it would be great. Like, you know, Salah. I think Van Dijk would be great, wouldn't it? I think that would be a good one for everyone. You know, he obviously got the winner last week against West Ham. Well, week before, sorry. And it was great to see that captain's goal. But yeah, I don't know, not too bothered, but someone who will like. I'll just say that.
You just put the Chuckle Vision fucking theme tune in my head now for the rest of the night. Thanks for that. Chuckle Vision. I might do a little edit. On that with Nunes. But yeah. Stacey, is anyone else in that Liverpool squad that possibly deserves the winner? Van Dijk
Deserves the winner.
No.
Yeah, I think Van Dijk or like a special Alisson header again. So you know, something spicy. Or and definitely.
I don't know why I
Alisson
go
assist.
up, like. I don't know why I go up, but imagine that.
Maybe Rob
For a final header again. Yeah, I think an ideal scenario for me. I mean, we've managed to we pumped them 6-3 at the start of the season. I think going again, obviously this time at Anfield, I think we're able to, if we can score more than we did the 7-0 against United, I think that'll be very ambitious. But we've proven we could do it then. I think it's just we just need to not play that slow football. We need to start with the intensity that we started the season with. I think we can score plenty of goals, but I think it's also the fatigue in players, especially in like Solskjaer's interview recently. He said that he's obviously tired all the time, but you can tell that like he's just a workhorse. So ideally, I would love obviously Joe Gomez to score, but definitely like someone like you wouldn't even expect, like an Alisson, something like that.
I think Kies would be nice.
Yeah.
Yes, that's one of
Kies would be nice.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
To have that moment.
If he gets some game time, maybe he even makes it on the bench this game.
You'd have to celebrate the knees sliding there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who would do the coldest celebration. It'd have to be a cold celebration. I think Salah would certainly do one. He'd sit with the fans as he always does. He might do his little bow and arrow. Or he might even do his. He might do the one that he did against Chelsea. That would be nice.
You know what would be quite funny? If Chiesa did like a Balotelli, but instead of why always me, it's like something to slot, like something like play me more, something like on his top, you know, something like just to say like what was worth like paying for, you know, it'd be quite funny.
Nunes coming on 4.3 million under his t-shirt.
Yeah.
Get that paid or something like that.
I'll be honest, I don't think you're going to see Nunes feature for the remaining games for the rest of the season.
Do you think he's not going to get a couple of minutes at least? Just a couple of minutes?
I think that hunch could be true where that they're trying, Liverpool don't want to pay that extra 5 million.
But that's starting again. I think he could get at least a sub-minute.
Maybe, but I would like to see Chiesa instead. I'd like to see Chiesa and Elliott get more game time for me, please. These two need to be playing more.
I'd rather get Dope back and see him up pitch before Nunes up pitch again, but it is what it is. I'm going to put this up there anyway. Will we sign 5 players? Reece thinks we're going to sign definitely 5 players. I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
She says further.
4 to 5 players, I think.
So I remember he said, I don't know if any of you guys saw Naj and Patricia, me and Reece did a stream the week. He said we're going to spend £300 million. He was very determined on spending £300 million. It was quite a good stream actually. We actually broke it down, all our sales potentially and all our buyers, what we're going to spend. I'm very kind on the budget, by the way, to make sure Reece could get his players in. Do you think we're going to sign 5 players, Naj?
Go on then, yeah.
And Mamadou still doesn't count. I know it actually does technically count for this season. So that's coming out of the budget as well as the wages.
I wouldn't say 5. I would say yes, 5 if we went bargain basement shopping like we do sometimes. But I'd say
4 to 5. That's what I'm looking at. Around, yeah.
I'd say 3, 4 possibly.
Mm.
You know, 3, 2 big ones.
Do you think it ever depends on not just sales, but ever depends on how much you spend on a striker as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the money that's been tossed around for Ekatike is about 70, 80 million. I'm paying that shit.
Honestly, I don't know why everyone keeps. I went on Twitter the other day and everyone's like, "Get this man at my club," and I'm just like, honestly, it is literally like one of the. It's like a Darwin Núñez waiting to happen again. He's already been at a big club.
I think it could be Osterman that we get.
Yeah,
I'm hearing more and more rumors about Osterman. I'm sure his release isn't his thing around 60 million. For me,
he's a bit of a troublemaker though, isn't he? Osterman.
Can't win them all. I like a player with a bit of character. For me, Slot won't stand for none of that. But you could say Núñez is a bit of a troublemaker. And so some players, Suarez was like that. Diego Costa was like that at Chelsea. I mean,
they get away with it though, Reece, when they're to the back of the net. Núñez ain't got.
For me, that's what I'm trying to say. As long as you're doing your job,
yeah.
off the field or whatever you do in your personal life, I don't really care. As long as it's not really affecting Liverpool on my stress levels and you're just helping us win trophies, then
yeah,
I'm all for it. I'm all for
Reece, I insured my TV on Núñez. It was actually part of the insurance saying that watching Darwin Núñez is actually part of the insurance for the Liverpool fans. I don't know if you've seen that. Just in case anything happens to the TV during watching Núñez, make sure you do get your. So whoever signs in Atletico Madrid, if you are signing Núñez, make sure you get your insurance on your TVs before you do, because any Núñez watchers will have that chance to get that insurance. So yeah, 5 players though. So what we're talking then, Patricia? Left back certain, striker certain,
ideally,
centre back certain. I'm trying to be kind there, certain on centre back. What else is certain? Because they've already moved out midfielder a little bit.
How about we just go around, innit? Everyone say how many players you think we're gonna get, and you say the actual players.
Go on, how many players do you think?
Sure,
and what positions? What positions?
So I think a striker for sure. Depends how ambitious we go for it. Whether it goes from Alvarez to that Ekatike guy. It depends on what we go for that, or even Isaac. But that's very ambitious. I would like a DM, but I very much doubt that. I'd like a DM, someone with a Gravenberch. But I imagine with Bajcetic coming back, then we'll see how that works out. A left back for sure. Obviously, like I said, Kirk is possibly a done deal. Centre back for sure to be a Trent Virgil replacement. Sorry, and then we think about whether Trent goes, so a Trent replacement. So yeah, and obviously we have Virgil and Mo as the 2 signings. So yeah.
And Mamadashvili, don't forget the Mamadashvili, that's another signing.
Oh, and him
We've signed 3 players already. Naj, are you optimistic like Reece?
Break the bank, Isaac. Break the bank. That's all I'm saying. Break the bank.
So that's just one. So if we're doing these, that's one signing, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So pick your other players as well. Nice.
I just think he needs to. I just think he is the main target. I think he needs to be the main target. If I'm going to be honest, like I keep saying, we've just won the league. We've got a great team. Don't get someone who's going to come in and be like, okay, no. Get someone who's already Premier League proven. Isaac is that guy. Other players, Kirk. I mean, mine's just exactly the same. Kirk as Isaac. I may as well just wear it on my head, just write it on my head, above my head. But I don't know. Others, like I would like, Dean Huijsen. I'd like him to come in, but I don't know. If I was going to say a 4th player, I would say would be quite an interesting one. Would be like maybe look at something that like sort of not like an Endo signing, but someone who's potentially going to come in and has got multiple like utility player, like I'm trying to say.
Bajcetic.
Yeah, like Bajcetic coming back, isn't he? So I think I'd give him a good run.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at his stats. I've seen a lot of stats coming up about him last Palmas the other day, and it was saying that he's got in the most interceptions and the most something else as well. I can't remember. But look, he's had a really good loan there, which has been good. So I'd give Bajcetic a run out, but I don't know. I think it's just the same 3 players that I'd really want. I mean, if there's Alvarez would be another person if you could afford him. Bring him in as well. Why not? More cover, more players. Makes sense, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just too.
I think the best sort, you talk about the versatile player. I think the best versatile player going forward would be Ryan Shirky in terms of covering all those positions on the forward line, and he can play up front as well. And under FSG, I've said this before. Under FSG, we need versatile players. We need players that can play multiple positions, as we've seen this season. Gravenberch had to sacrifice a lot of his game to cover the DM we didn't buy. That's what we have to do.
And he's played centre back.
Yeah. So there you go then. So he's absolutely perfect. Reese, 5 or 10 players we're signing.
Funny. What was I gonna say? 3 to 5. I was gonna say 3 to 5, but I think Kirkes is done. I think centre back. If not Huijsen, I'll take Hato, or I'll take. I forgot his name. The RB Live back centre back.
Lekepa.
Lekepa, yeah, I'll take him. But obviously, if it's not Huijsen first, then Hato, then him. Midfield, I would like a midfielder, but I think that's the one thing I'll say I think they're gonna mess up, and they're not gonna get that. I just have a feeling it'll be like, oh, Besetic is coming back, or that kind of thing, or he's developed a new kind of player thing. Whereas I think I would like I said, Believer. I think we're not gonna get him too much money. A realistic one would have been for me Angelo Stiller. That's the one I would have got.
Yeah.
But yeah, so centre back, left back, Trent goes. I think they get a right back. We were speaking about this in the other group chat. The player that we can get, he can go for a free. What's his name?
Aina.
Yeah, I would get him because I think age-wise and I think defensively, he locks up players. Players don't really make him look foolish. They don't really get past him like that, and I think that's the right balance in terms of Bradley. It won't stunt his growth because of his age. He can still become the number one long term, but I still think he needs a year or two and proper competition. You don't want to bring someone in and they're the same age as Bradley or younger, and then you ain't really got an experienced seasoned right back. So hopefully him, but I can see them going for the Bayer Leverkusen one, and then striker and a 10. If it was a 10, it would be who you just mentioned from Lyon. Forgot his name.
Shirky. Yeah.
I think he's the closest thing to a Coutinho. If you look at his attributes and things like that, I think it could quite work really well for me. And then you got that right balance. You've got him or you got a Szoboszlai. So if you want to be a bit more physical, someone who's going to work a bit more in a game, then you play Szoboszlai. If you want a bit more technical, someone who's going to open it up a bit more, a technical type of game, then you'll play Xerxes.
Escobar said here, the club already said a couple of months ago that Marcinelle and Hayane are ready for first team squad. You watch they try and get away with midfield and use young players to cover.
McConnell and Inonye.
And then
there's Inonye there as well. There's Rio coming in as well. I think Rio will be an alright option to have as a backup anyway. He's an unbelievable talent.
I have a
Nayeon is a very good player as well.
Feeling he's going to play more next season.
Rio, do you think?
100%.
Doing his development and things like that, and the fact you already saw. Did you see a couple times this season already? I think he'll get used more next season. Not way more, but I think he'll be involved. And then the last one, striker, for me is either Isak or Osimhen. I know people think Isak's unlikely, but those are the only two I'm willing to accept. Isak is the first choice, Osimhen the backup. I don't want that other player. It costs too much money, and I don't think he's ready yet. I don't want another player like Nunes who's going to take 2-3 years, 4 or 5 years. Or another, what's his name? David Ngog. That's what he kind of reminds me of.
David Ngog. Oh no, he did get a good goal against Man. He did get a breakaway goal against Man to settle the game.
I know.
That's something I remember that David Ngog.
That's his best highlight. If that's
that's his only highlight, mate.
You're gonna go and get something like that. You might as well bring Origi back, or rather Origi.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Go on, mate.
Right. For everyone, would you guys take obviously Julian Alvarez if we were to swap Nunes and obviously some money, whatever it was? And then would you take KDB on a free for a season or two?
I'll take Julian Alvarez for swap for Nunes. I'll take that right now. I'll take that right now. I don't even have to think about that. 100%. I'll take that. De Bruyne. What you say?
I mentioned De Bruyne last night. I mentioned De Bruyne last night because we're losing Trent's passing, right? and we're not going to sign a DM. I won't go. I won't do it. I won't do it because he's getting old. But if we could get him like in the background KDB for free, it's for free here. And like that DM that can spray the ball around, conduct play. I think he could be that.
My only what if with De Bruyne is if he plays, obviously he's not going to play every week, but when he does play, that means whoever's the two that are playing in the DM is the central, like the defensive mid positions, they need to be physically handling everything. You can't be expecting De Bruyne to track back and that because his legs are done. If he plays, you got to let him do the technical aspect of opening up the play, looking for that kind of pass. You can't expect him to do any of the physical aspect. And then the other thing, if I was maybe for a year or so, you got that nice balance between him and Szoboszlai, and maybe he could teach Szoboszlai a couple things. As well, or tell him to relax, stop being so tense, stop looking for Salah all the time. The other thing I would say is, which the only reason I think that it's unlikely is his wages. How much is he going to ask for? They're not going to give him them wages. They're not. What is he on already? Is he on 400,000 or something like that?
It's some ridiculous.
Something like yeah.
He'll be lucky. He'll be lucky if they gave him 200,000, and I don't think he would want. I don't think he would accept his money to drop that to that extent. So, but yeah, I would take him for a year, and then the other one with a heartbeat. I'll drive Nunes. I'll drive Nunes or take Spain, pay for his ticket right now. Let's go.
I'll piggyback him.
Let's go.
Villa, when he hit 17, first pro contract, then they'll let him loose. I agree that Escobar said about McConnell and Nyoni. I do think they will be used a little bit more for the next season. Baz says here, Isak is the dream, lads. Well, Isak is the dream, but John Henry, Freddy Krueger also enters my dream at the same time as well. Whilst I'm dreaming of Isak, Freddy Krueger comes into my dream and slashes me to death. John Henry. But yeah, sometimes it's all right to dream in it, Baz. It really is all right to dream. But unfortunately, Liverpool, when it comes to transfers, dreams are crushed quite easily. They're a bit like, when you're going to, you're a child, you go into a store that you want something and someone just bought the last one of them. And that's it. That is pretty much John Henry. John Henry is the guy that will go to a kid's store. There's one more toy on the shelf and he will buy that toy and bin it, knowing that kid is behind him wanting that toy for Christmas. That is what John Henry would do. He'd crush every kid's dream. So yeah, we can dream as Isak, but it's not going to happen. Let's be honest, guys. Alvarez, another one, potentially another dream. Ekitike is the most likely. I think Louis Steele came out the last week saying Ekitike is the one that's been murmured around Anfield, the one that's been spoken about the most. Now he's looking very, very excited about this signing of Ekitike. In fact, I think he's already pre-ordered his shirt with his name on his back. But I think I said it the way. No, I won't mind Ekitike if he came with another striker. If say we've got Jota and Nunes because Jota's not reliable anymore, and this season Jota's numbers haven't covered up his unreliability, which normally has. When he has played, it's been fantastic most of the time.
I still trust Jota more than Nunes.
Oh yeah, I trust Jota with a control pad in his hand more than Nunes. But yeah, I think them two going, then I'd be happy with Ekitike plus someone else. It'd have to come with someone else. It can't be that main striker.
Oh,
who? Sorry,
Harry Kane. Harry Kane is the backup.
He's got a 60 million release clause.
Should we get Harry Kane, De Bruyne? Should we get Harry Kane and De Bruyne in? That's assists and goals right there.
Premier League All-Stars.
Again, I'm not usually the Debbie Downer. The only thing I'd say is the wages. They're not going to give him. What is he on? 400,000 or something like that, 450. They're not going to do it.
Hey, we're giving 400,000 out for fun now, mate.
No, I know.
The owners have changed. The owners have changed.
But the difference is they've proved themselves here. They're legends. FSG will look at it as you ain't done nothing here. Regardless of what you've done, even though you're elite, they're going to say you ain't done nothing here for you to be demanding those wages.
Do you think FSG know John Henry? Not John Henry. Do you think FSG know who Harry Kane is?
No, they know who he is.
Probably don't. Pictures another baseball team or something. Gone by another glorified rounders.
You pissed off a lot of baseball fans. If there's any baseball fans watching, it is a glorified rounders. I've got to be honest. In fact, I played rounders at year 6 and I probably have better matches than what I see on baseball. But yeah, Kudus is a very good option here for Red Vision. I think Kudus would be another dream. Another dream that
Oh, I
Freddie
love
Krueger
him.
would come back
Yeah.
and ruin my dreams, because he's sensitive. He's a player that can get something from nothing, and I love players like that. He's such a good player, such a talented player. They can play across the front three as well. But again, it's the money in it. Was it 80 million talked about last year for Kudus, and that was last year. He's had another good season.
We've got too much to do in other positions as well. Even though I would like Kudos and Idol, or just the money that they're going to ask for.
You know what?
Liverpool's not going to do it.
A player like Kudus, and people look like overlooking it. Like Chiesa. Chiesa is that player. Nothing, and he just doesn't get the minutes. Like you watch him. He's one of them. He's like a winger. He's always been like this. He's not afraid to shoot, but he's like he wants to beat the man and get round them rather than coming back. He like go at the. He's like that. He's very direct. That's what I like about Chiesa.
Yeah, he wants to embarrass the players up against and then score.
Yeah, but like that's good. You know, we already have like that player. That's what Kudus does. Like Kudus obviously does. He's he likes the little Rabona and stuff like that, crosses and stuff like that. You know. Like, we've already got that player at Liverpool. We don't play him for some reason, so I don't know.
We could have had another one in Kvaratskhelia, and all actually we were serious about Kvaratskhelia in January and went for him.
Yeah.
No, that's a player that really does embarrass players.
Yeah, he does.
It's going to join in Man United, said Baz here, but potentially, and I think he's a very, very good player, Kuna. We can't deny that. He's an unbelievable player, but his attitude is a problem, so it would suit United anyway.
Yeah.
They seem to keep going for players like that, and then they realise why it's not worked out.
At Wolves and United.
Yeah. Baz says here, I think Kuna would have suited Liverpool, but has the release clause is reasonable. We do like a release clause. In fact, George Schmatt will be looking at Dean Huijsen thinking, "Oh, I could have had that. I could have had that release clause." George Schmatt's love of the release clause. And FSG love the release clause because you don't have to faff around with negotiations. You'd have to try and get it down. Morgan Rogers would be another dream.
Right.
Would be another dream.
I wouldn't say dream. I think he's a good player, but I wouldn't say dream. I don't look at him and think, oh, what a signing. I think he's a good
dream
player.
camp player would be Florian Wirtz. That'd be the dream camp player.
That's the dream for me.
Oh, Musiala.
Yeah.
Musiala.
He signed a new deal, I swear. So I'm not even talking about Musiala.
Bellingham. Even Reece himself would rule out Bellingham. That's how.
I'm more saying that as in I don't want him. Even if we could, I don't want Bellingham. Nah.
What if it to keep Trent as well?
Huh? Even if we keep Trent. Keep Trent. I don't want Bellingham though. Nah. Go away. You're a snake.
So is Xavi Simons that we haven't thought of. He obviously plays really well in that 10. I know.
We're gonna if we do. I spoke about this last night. So Xavi Simons. If we've got Xavi Simons, I think we're just basically going to get the Dutch squad, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
We don't want an entire national team.
All right.
Because it wouldn't really work.
Yeah.
If Holland were literally winning the World Cup and the Euros, then fair enough. Get the whole Dutch squad over here. But because they're not, then I wouldn't go too hard on one country.
Yes, we still said.
How much do you think we will spend in the summer window, and how many players do we need? 5? We do need at least 4 or 5. I mean, even Carragher, Mr. FSG himself, says we need 4 and 5. And when he's saying that, there's some, it's madness, isn't it? It's madness. We're in the league, we're potentially confirmed tonight as league champions, certainly Sunday, and we still need 4 or 5 players. And that's, whilst everyone else is saying, they're going to improve, we should really go this hard this summer, and we can really retain this title next season if we really do the summer right. Serious summer needed. How much do you think we'll spend? Depends who you ask on the panel here, Baz. Me and Reece have actually done a stream on this. Reece thinks about 300 million. I'd said about being. I think I was kind with the money though. I think we'll only sign 2 or 3 players, and that is dependent on sales, because I think we'll definitely sign a left back. We'll definitely sign a striker. There's certain definites because of Nunes going. I think Simicast will go, and then I think it all depends on sales. Then I think if we sell Diaz, we'll get a left winger. If we sell Canati, we get a Huijsen. If we sell an Endo and a Martin, depending on Bajcetic, what we see as Bajcetic, we might get a DM. And that I don't want to rely on sales for that. And again, I don't even think we're going to look at the right back. I think we'll look at it, but I don't think we're that bothered about it.
Mm.
It's a shame because Bradley again is becoming injury prone, and I want Bradley to be maybe the main guy, but he needs competition.
I think
If he gets injured, we're knackered.
I think with Gomez coming back, like I'm a big fan of Gomez. He's had a lot of sticks sometimes being Liverpool, but I think Gomez is like really good at like that covering left back, right back, centre back. Yeah, I think you'd keep him for that. His wages aren't high. He's been at Liverpool since he was 17, 18. So, but the only issue is with Joe Gomez is he is injury prone. So I think that's what they'll sort of look at. Maybe we can get away with it. And obviously Quanta playing right back. I'm not a big advocate of that, to be honest. But, you know, I think that's what they'll sort of think. Oh, we'll save money there because we've got sort of, you know, two right backs to cover there in Gomez and Quanta for Bradley if Trent does go, which, yeah, he probably will. But, yeah, so I sort of think with in terms of right back. Whereas left back, you know, Joe Gomez can fill it. But, you know,
Sponsor right back again.
Yeah, Tsimikas ain't. I don't think really. He has his moments, but obviously Robertson. I think.
Hang on, Naj. Curtis Jones could be a right back option.
Oh yeah, true. Look at all them options and like be like, no, you know, the one we need in the full back position, we need a left back because we can quite clearly see that Robertson is regressed. I have said this in the past. I would not sell Robertson. I would just keep him and manage his minutes. I think
that's a mistake. Even that, you saying him regress, that's being too kind.
I mean, like,
that's being too, the game has left Robinson. Robinson has nothing left to offer. The game has left Robinson, and people still want to keep Robinson because of this sentimental stuff.
Would you say Robertson, a shit Robertson, is better than a good Tsimikas?
Nope. Yeah. No way. No way. Tsimikas.
Defensively.
He gets too much disrespect, and the problem is, this was part of with Klopp with the favourites. Those times Tsimikas was doing way better than Robinson. He was killing it, and then he'll just rush Robinson back as soon as he come back in because he's one of his tried and trusted. Mistake. You don't do that. People's judgment is clouded.
No, I think
Tsimikas has always been better technically than Robinson. He suits our style of play, how Slot plays. He suits our style of play better than Robinson. He's more comfortable on the ball than Robinson. Robinson always looks like he's about to shit himself when he gets the ball. Slot likes us to be on the ball. Robinson don't like being on the ball. And every second he's on the pitch, he makes a mistake. Every game. Tell me a game he hasn't made a mistake this season.
Although Kirkes doesn't like being on the ball in those areas.
In what areas?
In those defensive areas, don't like being a pass with the ball. He's more of a bomb up and down the pitch.
Robinson don't like being on the ball at all for me. Even when he's going forward, he's going backwards. He's cutting in on his right side. He's already positioned to go backwards, like he's still got Henderson next to him. I appreciate everything Robinson's done. He was a great servant, one of the best fullbacks in the Premier League era. Probably, I would say second. I would say Ashley Cole's in front of him, but I think Robinson's the one we've got to move on. I don't think we will. I think it'll be Tsimikas, but I think he'll keep Robinson because of experience. But for me, you can't play Robinson when he plays. There's a mistake there waiting to happen, and that's cost us a few times. Obviously, it's not going to cost.
Yeah, that's why we need a reliable left back that can be fit.
But I do see he will be the one to stay. But for me, it would have been Tsimikas. Tsimikas is happy being the backup with his role. He understands for me, and when he does play, when he has a bit of rhythm, he always does a good job. Tsimikas. People just get onto him as soon as he starts playing. If a player's hardly playing and then he plays, you can't expect him just to be producing some A-star performance when he's been out in the cold for how long. Like that. It doesn't work like that. A lot of players need rhythm, and he's never really had that. He's never really been able to get that. When he has, he's either got injured or he played really well, and then on the clock, he'll just throw Robinson right back in. It's like, what are you doing? Tsimikas is in the form of his life. Robinson should be waiting. Like that's what I mean, but yeah, that's my view on that situation there.
As Capado said here, name to watch is Paxau. Allegedly, LFC scouts being pushing him. I think it's probably an easy link at Feyenoord to get a winger like that in. He's a very good player, but again, it would be a cheap option if we were to go get him. I think he's got potential, but I don't think we'll go for someone like that if Diaz were to stay as well.
I think Diaz will stay now. To be honest, I think that's all. I think it's all like sort of thought that with Diaz. I think Diaz will stay. You know, I don't know if anyone's seen his interview thing the other day. I said, you know, about playing for Liverpool and stuff like that. And you know, I mean, I said this like Diaz, he's got. I mean, he's 28. Diaz. We'll be honest with that, but you know, he's got like he has got goals in him. He has got goals. You can see it. You know, but he's just not. You know,
He didn't do it. He just didn't do it enough. Yeah.
Compare it a little bit too much to Mane, but I think people forget like Mane did have like dry spells and stuff. But I think, you know, when Diaz sort of performs better when he's got a goal in him. Like when he was playing at like United and all that at the start of the season, like he was electric. And then he played obviously front a little bit. I thought he was good against Spurs as well. Actually, when we beat him 6-3, I thought. But it's just like he seems to have like 3 really good games, and then he'll have like just average. He doesn't really have. I've not really seen him have bad games this season. I've seen him have like he's not done anything. He's not really played bad. He's just not really done anything. And then, you know, I don't know whether that's going to be relied a bit too much on, you know, Diaz to sort of come up with the goods, because we've obviously been really struggling in the striker position. And like, you know, I've always said this all season, like, you know, Salah's being the main guy. Without Salah, would be absolutely knackered. But, you know, I think with Diaz, I would like him to stay. I think he's a great player, but, you know, backup would be good. But do we need backup? Gakpo, you know, I think Gakpo's got, you know, he's quite young, Gakpo, and respects things. He's 25, 26. So I think he's got a good future at Liverpool. I think, you know, I think with Gakpo, it's more of, can you keep him fit sort of thing? Because he has had quite a few injuries now, which is unfortunate, obviously, because obviously when he was flying this season, you know, and Diaz went up front as a false 9 sort of thing. I thought it was working really well at that point. You know, Gakpo was obviously getting the goals, Diaz was facilitating it. But I think, you know, that would be the last position I would look at, would be left wing to get a player, because I think, you know, with Rio coming through as well. I was going to mention that before. Like, I think Rio next season, you know, where the comparison between him and Ben Doak, I think Ben Doak probably gets sold. I think with Rio, you can already see at the ages, you know, he's 16, like he's 17 next year. Like, you can already see like he's quite cut out to play in like a top division, because of it. You know, Ben Doak's quite a petite build, isn't he? Like, Rio's not that sort of petite. I mean, he's obviously going to grow. He probably grow a bit bigger now, I presume. So anyway, I mean, I didn't grow from the age of like 10, but you know,
But he's got that lower body strength, and he's got that lower strength as in, like, you know, them small players that can get around players anyway.
And he was playing against, you know, obviously we played Accrington, Stanley in the cup. You know, he looked good. He was willing to take a player on, and like, you know, them sort of players in them lower leagues, like in League 2 and stuff, like they hit you hard, and you know, they go, you know, they're more physical in them leagues. Famously, you know, the lower you go down, the more physical they are. But you know, he seemed to look quite comfortable in that. And then obviously the performance, I can't remember who it was against. He looked okay that as well. But I think the left wingers, the left side of the Liverpool are sort of locked down. So I would not be really looking to get anyone in there. It would just be obviously in the left back position. But with this Tsimikas thing, I do think he's a good player, but I don't know. With Robertson, I think manages minutes, maybe you get a little bit more out of him. But Kerkez, like, you know, you were saying Kerkez doesn't like being on the ball, but I'd be a lot more confident in Kerkez getting the ball, because he just bored with it. You know, Fresh is released as soon as because he's so quick. You know, he just gets up that wing. You know, that's sort of old Robertson sort of style, which is
that's what I said earlier. I said that earlier on something. I did something earlier on that. Yeah, that it does remind me of Robertson, the heyday of Robertson, that bombing up and down the pitch, that ability to cross the ball. He's good at crossing. He's good on the overlap as well. So I think, Kerkez is the one for me. I think he will be the first sign. I want to say that first signing. I think left back and striker an absolute certainty this season, this summer. And if we don't get a striker, then I don't know what we're going to do next season, because Salah does need help next season. Diaz needs to do better in terms of output, and he needs to continue his. When he does play good, he had 3 good games a couple of weeks ago, and then that needs to continue. I mean, that game was against Man City this season when he had an unreal game. Was it away to Man City?
Yeah.
Was it last season that Man City won?
Last season he did. He had a good game last season against Man City, but he missed like he missed like 3 open goals, didn't he? Like he went.
Yeah. But you're doing everything else right. Yeah. That was it. Yeah, that was it. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting summer to say the least. But focus on right now in terms of the league. Liverpool can be crowned champions with Arsenal losing tonight. As if Arsenal lose, I don't want them to lose. I don't think they'll lose. I'm going to cheer on Arsenal tonight to hopefully get a draw or win. Therefore, making it right for Liverpool to win the league on Sunday in the right way in front of the Anfield crowd. That'd be a perfect way to end the season. And really, if we don't beat Tottenham, then there's something wrong because everyone's beating Tottenham at the moment. So yeah, let's get this Premier League title sewn up and let's enjoy the rest of the season. But make sure you do like this video. Liking the video would help us out massively. If you are watching, thank you everyone that has watched live. Thank you everyone that has been in the chat as well. I absolutely appreciate everyone that comes in the chat and gets their voices and gets their opinions heard as well. That's what I want this channel to be about. Everyone else's opinions, the fans' opinions. Everyone get your thoughts in, get your views into the chats, and also make sure you do subscribe to the channel as well. We've just hit 300 subscribers yesterday. Thank you everyone that's subscribed so far. Thank you everyone that's watched so far. Our next target would be 400, 500 subscribers potentially. Who knows? Thank you everyone that has done it so far though. Like this video. Notification bells on as well because we get content out every single day. Hopefully going to be live again tomorrow night. It might be myself and Hooks, or I don't know yet. I'm waiting for Hooks to get back to me on that one for head-to-head. Red Zone is back on Friday night as well. For tune into the Red Zone at 6:30 or 7 o'clock-ish. Just get notification bells on. It'll tell you when we're live on here. And thank you for watching. Have a great night, guys, and have a great week. Thank you, boys, for coming on.